I'm very fortunate that Imagine Dragons is a collection of musicians that kind of operate democratically and put our egos aside and try to really just create the absolute best music the four of us can make together. And wow. You know, everyone in that group is super talented and prolific at creating music. I mean, every week there's multiple new songs being written. You know, everyone in this band is horrible at sitting on our hands and not doing anything, and in fact incapable, I would say. So we're, you know, constantly just creating stuff. And, you know, sometimes someone will write something and I'll be like, I have a lot of drum ideas. I want to go in and rework this. And other times I'll be like, those drums are awesome, and I don't really even want to touch them, but I do have an idea for this synth thing, or, you know, I definitely feel like my film scoring experience allows me, when we're in a studio setting, to say, bring my violin and my viola, and then we can create a giant string arrangement, say. And the awesome thing is someone like Ben McKee, the bass player, would be able to take that string arrangement, and with his knowledge of synthesizers, so he has this fancy synthesizer called the Waldorf Quantum Synth, which is I couldn't even begin to tell you the complexity of it, but it's beepy and boopy. And yeah, he would take those string arrangements and basically live process it through the synthesizer, and it turned it from something that sounded classic and turned it into something that sounded like brand new. I don't know if I've ever heard a robot orchestra that sounded like that, you know? And then the awesome thing is then Ben would pass it off, and Wayne, the guitar player, would, you know, take it and add a bunch of guitars. And so it's kind of like a constant, hot potato game, but musically, that we're always playing, or juggling hot potatoes. And we really do have a difficult time when it's down to the wire to pick an album, because generally there's so many songs, and you grow very attached to them. But I think I'm going to categorize that as a good problem. You know, I've heard stories about bands that, like, you know, they're like, we're all going to show up to the studio with a pizza and a 12-pack of beer, and we're going to everyone bring a record, we're going to listen to records, and then we're going to, with that new vision, spontaneously write an excellent album. And I think that's incredible that people can do that, but that's not generally the way we do it. We generally front load the working process pretty hard and are just kind of constantly writing, and then we slowly whittle it down to a smaller and smaller group, and then we generally all jump into a studio together to, in live time, make decisions about this needs to be turned up, that should be turned down, that should be replaced. And wow. It's worked for us.